Hi everybody, my name is Carrie Mubarak. I am at wooingnature.life and this is the June reading for all of my Leo friends. Hi Leo friends, I hope everybody is doing well. It's a great month. It is Gemini season. Your time is coming. But this is it's because it's a Gemini season. I've really been feeling that pull of the dark and the light and the good and the bad and the left and the right, the yin and the yang. I've been feeling all of that, so I definitely wanted to tune in with that. So for today's reading, I am going to give you the astrological look, and this time I did focus on your lunar life. So I am looking more or less at what's happening with the moon during the month of June. Just intuitively felt like the right thing to do. And then also I'm going to do a reading from Holiska's I-Ching deck. Just because this particular deck asks for you to pull two cards. The first card representing the reading, and then the second card representing the change, or the changing line. So if you're familiar with I-Ching, traditionally I-Ching was done by counting arrow sticks, and then it went on to the coins, the three coins, which I think is what most people are accustomed to. But then, further advancements and paper has allowed us to then also have the I Ching in card form. And because this uses two cards, I just thought it kind of fell in line with Gemini. So that's why I'm using Holiska today. So we'll get to Holiska later. I just want to talk to you a little bit about what's happening in your, giving you a lunar perspective of what's happening for the month of June, Leo folks. So there's two houses, of course, that are being activated. The 11th house at the beginning of the month, and the 5th house toward the middle of the month going into the end. And again, that's because of where the moon is. The new moon is at the beginning of the month. The full moon comes in the middle of the month, and I'm just kind of looking at what's going on there. All right, so your 11th house and your 5th house are activated this month. The 11th house is the people that you're around. It's your associates, it's your coworkers. It's kind of like maybe not your really, really close friends, like your friends that you feel like are almost your brothers and sisters. Not them. They're kind of hanging out in the 3rd house. But for the 11th house, it's like your associates, your friends and your associates. So we're going to be looking at those people for the beginning of the month. That whole adage about you're known by the company you keep, it's especially true for you right now, Leo, during the first part of the month. Those people who are kind of loosely associated with who you are and what you do give you a good idea of how you define yourself moving forward. Okay, so they give you definition, they give you a sense of purpose, they give you some parameters for yourself as you're moving forward, because there's some changes happening for everybody. That includes you, Leo. So you can expect to see how the people that you're around are kind of setting a pace for you. So Leo has a natural tendency to lead, and this time it's defined by the people, okay? Not the other way around. So it's not like, well, I am this way, and so therefore I draw these people to me. Right now, what you need to look at it from is a different perspective of the people are telling me who I am and what position I hold, what role I play, and then that role kind of will give you an idea of what your calling is, or what your purpose is, or what it is that you're here to do now. So it's really important right now for you to pay attention to that. The new moon energy is asking us to step away from the ego. That's why you got the little bit of a switch. So you're not looking at it from this myopic perspective of me. It's more about allowing that which is beyond you to then feed you, or to feed your mind, or feed your intellect, or feed your purpose, so to speak. Okay. So what happens because of this? What happens is you then become an inspiration for others to follow when you let their needs and their desires and what it is that they're seeking be out front. So you're gonna acquiesce some of your own personal kind of step that to the side and then pay attention to what's going on around you. And it will also show you how to act and what to do internally as well. So you're going to be learning a lot from other people right now. Now, as we get into the middle part of the month, going to the end of the month, you're going to see how your natural house placement, so we're being in the fifth house. Fifth house is a natural Leo house. You're going to see how it's going to frame this leadership model. Now, leadership doesn't have to be like you're the head of the organization of some big organization or you're the CEO of a company. If you're CEO of the company, or if you're planning to move in that direction, or if you're running an organization or your own company or something like that, then certainly you can see this. But leadership happens in little ways and big ways. You don't have to be the big shot in order to show leadership skills. I just want to make that clear, because some people are like, well, I don't know, like I'm not really doing that much. You never know. You never know. You never know who you're inspiring every day. Again, we're just looking at the people you're around and letting that be the definition, not your own definitions in your own head. So again, when the full moon comes in, you're going to kind of begin to delineate. You're going to be able to kind of see where this is headed, and you'll see how it's going to frame how you lead people in the future. This is not going to probably look like what you think it's going to look like. It's a different model. It's a more creative model because it's in the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of beauty and creativity and writing and art and poetry and all kinds of other things as well. So it's going to be a creative model. It's going to encourage some playfulness. It's going to encourage lots of creativity on your part and in other parts, and then with other people as well. And it's something that you're probably going to learn from the people as well. So it's just being very open. You want to be very open when you're around people, open to receive the lessons that they have to teach you about you and about, how you're going to best use your Leo self in the future. So plan some events, plan some parties, get together with your folks. This is going to be a kind of a good month for you. Plus, it's nice and it's sunny and it's really cool. So, you being the life of the party is going to make people want to match that same level of joy, that same level of excitement, and that same level of intensity. So really what you're doing is just kind of increasing the vibration of the people around you. Ooh, that's fancy. I like that. I'm going to go find some Leo people to get around. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so I am just going to move on into the Holitska I-Ching. We're going to pull a couple of cards, take a look and see what the Book of Changes has for you, and that will help kind of coincide with what it is that's going on. All right, so we've got passage number 36 for you, Leo, and the second one is card number 54. So what Holitska asks of us is that we take a look at the passage first, and then in the second card, we're looking at the lines here to see which ones changed. So, I don't know if you can actually see that, but you can see like the first line here is the same. The second line is different. The third line is different. The fourth line is different. And then the other two are the same. So I think we're looking at, if I'm looking clearly, we're looking at 2, 3, and 4 as our changing lines. But first, we're going to find out what 36 has to say. Card number 36. 36, 36, 36, 36, 36. Where are you? All right, so, oh, that's too much light. All right, so this card, number 36, corresponds to the passage that is entitled Eclipse of the Light. Unfathomable influences gain ground and threaten the realization of your aims and plans. You have no power over them. The power you have is over yourself. Don't let yourself be swayed from your goals. Stand firm, albeit quietly, by your convictions. The present need is to remain calm within, firm, strong willed, and to appear tolerant and flexible to those around you. Avoid acting as the center of attention. Okay? And remember, we're talking about the people around us. Don't meddle in other people's affairs. Your personal opinion has little importance at the present. Remember, I was saying that this is not about you. And the moon's energy is teaching us. In the first part of the month, the moon's energy is saying, it's not about us. It's not about the ego. It's not about fulfilling your own stuff. It's really about being available for those who need it most. Your oh, excuse me, that was just a repeat. So demonstrate to others once more that the existing conflicts are of a passing nature. They are essential for positions to be clarified once and for all. You will also warm to the task and gain much in terms of personal development. Very interesting. Very interesting. Not what I was expecting at all, coming from what's happening with the moon, but definitely the correlation there is with the people around you, um, not being the center of attention, not meddling in other people's affairs, keeping your personal opinion being of less importance, so that you can what demonstrate to others or be of some kind of model. So I don't know what's going on right now, Leo, with you all. Again, we're talking about 11 and 5. We're talking about the people around you. Apparently, there is some there could be some very influential people around you. Um, and as that is rising up, it seems to threaten your goals, but that's not the idea. Again, the idea is to avail yourself and to be more open, so that that leadership style that I was speaking about earlier can come into play. So if there is some conflict going on in your circles of friends, just remember that you are the lead in that circle. More than likely you, and if there's some other Leo people around, you can share this message with them as well. But your personal opinion, um, getting into somebody else's stuff, if there's some chaos going around, that's not for you. So you can just stay out of there. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Don't go in there. Okay? All right. So if there are conflicts, they are passing in nature. And I still feel like and hold to you being able to observe this action, letting it define who you are, letting it define your position. Um, it could be that you find out, well, gosh, I'm doing the same thing they're doing, so let me check myself. Or it could be like, that's not what I'm into, and so I'm gonna see this for what it is. I'm gonna look at who I am in this picture and see how I can exact the change. All right, so I'm going to I'm going to look a little closely at these lines because I was looking like through the camera. So I would just want to make sure I'm getting the right changing line. So the second line is changing, the third line changed, the fourth line changed. And so now what I'll do is take a look at the second, the third, and the fourth line. And that should give you a little deeper connection to the information that was shared earlier. So 2, 3, and 4, we've got line 2. And let me just say this: sometimes it may be that one of these lines resonates more with you than others. It could be that a couple of them do. It could be all of them, but whatever resonates, that's for you. So line 2 says a negative force curbs you, but you are still capable of acting. React spontaneously and without an ugly or ulterior motive. Okay. One of the other zodiac signs, their information came through, and it was about having hidden agendas. I think it was Cancer. So no hidden agendas here. Again, it's not about you. Um, The right decision comes when your gut feelings lead you to make the right decision. So follow your gut, follow your intuition. That's what this is all about. Life management through intuition. As you use your intuition in the situation, it's going to waken up more of your intuitive juices. You'll be able to act not just from your mind, or not just from some like, oh, I think this is going on, but really from a true and honest place. Line 3 says you unexpectedly collide with the cause of your problem. Wow. Take advantage of this moment coolly and unhesitatingly. With tactfulness, you later find normality from within. This is some powerful stuff, Leo. This is some powerful stuff. This is some powerful stuff. Line 4, you are in the fortunate position of being able to recognize clearly what is happening around you. Don't venture too far ahead, as you can then avoid an impending disaster. So, um, I don't know, Leo. It looks like there's some conflict. Looks like there's a little chaos in your circle. Okay, that's cool. You don't have to mix up in that. You can use that as a teaching tool. Ultimately, that's what's going to be key. And remember that when you get to the middle of the month is going to open you up to some creative ways to deal with that. And you are going to have to, based on what I'm reading in Haliska, you're going to need some creative ways to deal with the people that are around you. Because if you go at it from the same angle you always have, or if you go at it with some kind of hidden agenda in your mind, it is not going to work. These people are going to be really great teachers for you. I don't care how they're acting. Because sometimes people act a certain way, it brings out something positive in us. Like sometimes when things are like really chaotic, it causes us to, it's almost like a call to action. And so you're the perfect person for the gig. Sorry, you just are. So, um, that's that. That's some really, really, really interesting information. Like I said, it wasn't something I was expecting, but it definitely does give some real insight into what's happening around you. So stay away from that confusion. Stay away from the conflict. Look at these people as your teachers. They are your teachers, and they're good teachers too. Because what's going to come out of this is some real, real powerful stuff, and some really powerful tools for the future. I mean, you never know. You may end up in another place around some other people, and when these things come up, you'll have the tools to deal with them, and you'll be able to like jump right to it. So it's really cool. All right, Leo folks, I really do wish you well in the month of June. If you need any assistance, have any questions, or if you want to get more specific in your reading, either astrologically, or if you're more interested in having an I-Ching reading. And like I said, I do yarrow stalks, I do coins, and I also do the cards. It's up to you. I'll be happy to do that. All you have to do is reach out to wooingnature.life, or you can email me directly at Kerri, that's Kerri, at wooingnature.life. Thank you very much. I hope you have a very pleasant month of June.